Greetings. My name is Cassandra Faye Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates. Founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And I'm just going to jump right into it because I have a deadline. We are the breakers of curses, the casters of glorious conspiracies, and the creators of the new world. I, Cassandra Faye Floyd, am a divine instrument of my mother's divine will. As such, I am protected and guided by the sacred blood and water of my mother, Jacqueline Jeanette Cook's body, that anointed my entry into this life. I am divine because she is divine. Mommy and I are one. I call all of our mothers to this moment. I call on they who govern everything, all time and every space in between. She with 10,000 names. Today it is Oya, Yamaya, Oshun, Iyami Ajay, divine architects of existence, usheresses of the new age. Mommy and I are one. I call upon all the divine ancestors and the Ashe of every mother on earth to break every curse ever cast upon the mother and her children in all timelines and in all dimensions. Mommy and I are one. We, the mother's divine children, conspire together today to forever bind those who have or would harm you, great mother. Mommy and I are one. We conspire together today to destroy everything and everyone in every timeline and dimension that has caused suffering and despair. Mommy and I are one. Today, we embody the sacred and divine power of our mothers. Today, we the tree, we the weavers, rewrite all time. Today, we the tree, we the weavers, rewrite the book of life. Today, we, our mother's children, call the winds of change. We conjure the primordial dark. We summon the sacred serpent deep from within the earth. We subdue the rogue sun. We control the light. We heal the harm. We embolden the fearful. We instill courageous action. Today, we are staging a global evolution as is our mother's divine will. Mommy and I are one. We, the architects of the new age, now create the new institutions, the new traditions, the new cultures, the new ways of being. We ecstatically welcome the radical destruction of all institutions of hate and harm erected by the godheads of war. Mommy and I are one. We have the power. We have the voice. We are the portals of change. Now we employ our sacred breath and give life and sacred blood to this conspiracy. Mommy and I are one. We command, come the wind, come the storm, come the lightning. Capture and judge all godheads of war and all betrayers of the mother's divine will. Bring their confusion and war to an immediate end. Scatter them to oblivion, never to be resurrected. We are the fates. We are the furies. We are the Iyami Ajay. We are the disseminators of divine time, divine retribution, divine rectification, and evolutionary justice. Mommy and I are one. We are the restorers of heaven on earth under the mother's divine reign. We wake the sacred serpent from her deep sleep to assist us in this sacred assignment. Mommy and I are one. Love unlimited is our birthright. Harmony is our birthright. Ecstasy is our birthright. Pleasure is our birthright. Freedom is our birthright. This is her divine will. We are the divine executors of her will. We speak her will into the now to reverberate throughout all time, all space, and all dimensions. It is certainly as we say, forever and ever. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. So, no, it's been a little while, but there's a lot going on. So that's why it's been a while. I'm not gonna belabor the issue because I have pretty pressing things to take care of today. I am gonna read a couple of things today. Yeah, I'm going to read a couple of things today, and I'll probably do another live later today, but I have some meetings. I have some things I need to take care of, and greetings, everybody. Greetings, everybody tuning in on IG, on YouTube. So, I think the last live I did was when I made the announcement that I withdrew my candidacy from the race for mayor of Los Angeles. And I just needed some time to recover from that whole thing. That whole process took up so much time and space in my life. And so I just needed to recover from that. But I'm just going to get right to it because I have to be out of here by like 12:30. So I saved this card because I did a reading for someone last week. Let me just go ahead and do a little housekeeping. Yeah, let me do a little housekeeping first, because this is my only job for right now. Okay. So again, my name is Cassandra Faye Floyd. I'm the founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, located in Los Angeles. There are several ways that you can support the temple. You can, so the email address for the temple is EvoEmeTemp@gmail.com. That's EvoEmeTemp@gmail.com. You can use that email to send a Zelle contribution or a PayPal contribution. If you want to send a contribution via Cashapp, that is $ Daughter of the Fates. That's FATES, Daughter of the Fates. If you would like to send a Venmo, it is my name, Cassandra, CASSANDRA @Andra-Floyd, FLOYD. Also, the Daughter of the Fates Etsy store is still up for the time being. That is Daughter of the Fates, FATES .etsy.com. That's DaughterOfTheFates.etsy.com. Also, you can use that email address, EvoEmeTemp@gmail.com. You can use that email to book a divination session. So divinations are 30 minutes or 60 minutes. Just email me, and I can, talk you through how to book a session. And also, I want to start teaching more and in a way that is more steady and reliable. And so what I've been thinking about is like allowing like teaching mini sessions for like $25 and doing those via Zoom. So like I used to teach workshops, like organized. Some of y'all just came to my last workshop that was on the mysteries and secrets of the lower palace. For those who don't know, the lower palace is the uterus. And it's called the lower palace in Chinese medicine, which is what my background is in. So some of you did just participate a couple weeks ago in that workshop. So I wanted to start doing something like that more regularly. Like seriously, like 3 days a week, I would like to teach in an organized way where I am being paid a set amount of money for really game-changing information. The next one I'm going to do, the next workshop I'm going to do is called 10 Herbs New Moms Can't Live Without. 10 Herbs New Moms Cannot Live Without. how to use them, when to use them, how to begin the process of learning how to self-diagnose and how to diagnose those that live in the home with you. You understand? Not to treat symptoms, to understand how to treat the people that you care about and that you live in the home with. 10 herbs new moms cannot live without, how to use them, whether to use them topically, whether to use them internally, how old does your baby have to be in order for you to use these herbs on your babies. It was when I was in Florida, it was one of my most popular reoccurring workshops. 10 herbs, new, how to buy the herbs if you were on a fixed income, how to buy medicinal herbs with your food stamp card. All of that is in the workshop. So that'll be the next workshop that I teach. And that workshop will be next week. I will give y'all further details as the week goes on. I'm looking at Wednesday evening, but y'all can email me feedback about what time works best for you. But I'm thinking I like Wednesday evening, like early evening, my time. So yeah, I want to start doing that regularly, not only this way, but also, in person here in the city. I need to start teaching. So, like teaching and getting paid to teach, you feel me? Like regular. So anyway, that's one thing. Yeah. And then I have 2 events coming up. One is Pretty Renegade. I'll be giving y'all more information about that later in the day. I just made the decision yesterday. So it's straight up some renegade shit. You feel me? I'm going to create an Eventbrite for it today after I take care of these 2 pretty pressing things that I got to take care of. But Friday is Friday the 13th. And so I'm going to try to see what kind of jack move we can pull in the city to pull an event together, renegade style, like bum rush some park, post the fuck up, show the fuck out type of shit. So I'll be giving y'all more information about that later today. And so now that I've gotten, I think, everything out of the way for the housekeeping. So what I was saying earlier was I was doing this reading last week for this sister. And I had never pulled this card. I told y'all I've been really spending a lot more time with this Oracle deck, the Kali Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. Baby, this deck is something else, okay? This deck be having me on one, just like on one deep. And the reason I kept this card, I did this reading for this sister a week ago, over a week ago. And the reason that I kept this card is because the studying that I've been doing the last 3 days, it's like this card keeps coming up, keeps coming up, keeps coming up, keeps coming up. Also, I will just say, y'all need to be checking the Etsy store over the next few days, like, because I'm trying to pull this renegade shit off on Friday. And so for the next 48 hours, keep your eye on the Etsy store because I am creating a new ritual as we speak. I started working on it yesterday. It came down like a lead bomb. I started working on this, like the one that we did in May of last year that lasted 3 months. The global, it was, what do we call it? What do we call it? Yeah, the global conspiracy to right all wrongs. You see, my brain is somewhere else. The global conspiracy to right all wrongs. That I read at the top of the slide. For those of you who are new, I read the conspiracy that I read at the top of this live was the conspiracy that I wrote last May for a global conspiracy that we did. And what I mean by conspiracy is in the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, we say we don't cast spells, we cast conspiracies. We do not pray, we conspire. And so we casted a conspiracy last May that lasted from May 20th to August 25th to acknowledge and undo and chant down what had been done 1700 years ago to the date with the seating of the Roman Catholic Church by Emperor Constantine I at the Council of Nicaea. And so that was an actual ritual. We had a whole process. We chanted that conspiracy that I read at the top of the live, we chanted that every day from May 20th to August 25th. And then there was other instructions that went along with it for the opening of the ceremony, for the closing of the ceremony. So I'm working on a new ritual of that magnitude, and I will have it complete before the renegade shit we pull on Friday. So keep checking. I'm gonna try to have it done today, but keep checking the Etsy store, DaughterOfTheFates.etsy.com, because that's where you will be able to purchase the details, the conspiracy itself, and the instructions for how the ritual is going to go down, what the purpose for the ritual is going to be, what the goals and objectives of the ritual is. That's going to be on Etsy for all of us, male, female, all the genders in between, black, white, all the races in between, to get up on, to start a new trajectory in this conspiracy we cast. And so anyway, I was saying all of that because this card that I pulled for this woman, man, it just stayed with me. I was like, I don't care. The next live I do, no matter how long into the future that is, this is the first thing I'm gonna do is read this card to the group, because baby, this card has been plaguing my skull every day since I read it. Every day. When I tell you our mother has something to say, child, and at this point she's screaming. Okay, so the name of the card is called Tromo Nagmo. Tromo Nagmo. I'm gonna show it to y'all on IG first. Tromo Nagmo. Tromo Nagmo. So just so you guys know, if you've never seen me read from this deck is a collection of all of the incarnations and personifications of the one Kali. So this is all her in her different stages, because she is shapeshifter. Like every woman on earth is a shapeshifter. Like every female on earth is a shapeshifter. You feel me? So this is Tromo Nagmo. I'm gonna read this for you. Talk about it a little bit, and then maybe move on to something else. She arises instinctively, responding to a severe threat to your well-being. Freedom. Let's see. Let me start over. She arises instinctively, responding to a severe threat to your well-being, freedom, and sacred fulfillment. Her fierce form causes the impure to tremble and the pure of heart to move close. She is ferocious in her wrath against injustice. Dispense with thoughts of vengeance. Pray for mercy for all beings, especially those trapped in patterns of consciousness harmful towards themselves and others. Open your heart to her heart, and allow her to attend to all matters of karma while you remain true to your higher self. Listen. This is the message for the card. Kali is so responsive to those in need of her that she will manifest in unlimited forms to provide the necessary protections. Her fiercest forms manifest to support us in confronting powerful darkness within ourselves, others, and our world. In Tibetan Buddhism, a Dakini or sky dancer is a feminine spiritual being offering guidance and protection. The Dakini, known as Troma Nagmo, and also as Krota Kali, is a fiercely protective divine feminine being upon whom we can meditate. As we place our focus upon her, we enter into her being for sanctuary. Her appearance is meant to be repelling for a spiritual purpose, not to keep us away from her. Listen. So allow any fear or aversion that arises as you contemplate her to rise and then fall away. This is how contemplation upon this sacred being becomes an act of spiritual cleansing and psychological release. As the aversion dissipates, our sanctuary with her is activated from a pure, trusting heart, deflecting unwanted negative energies and psychic contaminants. Trauma Nagmo is our black, wrathful mother of tantric wisdom. Can y'all come in the room and act like y'all up in here? Because I don't hear no church. I don't hear no church organ playing. I don't see no hand clapping in the emoji section. I don't see the evidence of spirit moving through the room. Trauma Nagamo is our black, wrathful mother of tantric wisdom. As our mother, she is available to all hearts who seek her protection, teachings, and assistance. She is a fiercer form of the already fierce Vajrayogini from the Tibetan spiritual tradition. As such, she takes spiritual protection to the highest level. She is associated with the Tibetan practice of Chod, which facilitates complete fearlessness, rapid spiritual growth, and the severing of attachment. The word Chod translates to cutting through. To cutting through. Trauma Nagmo's presence in a reading indicates that you will outgrow any issue, even those so persistent as to last for a very long time, or that appear to be beyond your capacity to overcome. This confronting, powerful obstacle may be an attachment, stuck pattern, or unhealthy misuse of energy. It may be a set of circumstances you have created or that another has imposed upon you. It may relate to this or other lifetimes. Whatever the cause, her presence indicates that it is time for it to end. As you move close to her presence in your heart, you will be able to cut through the mental and emotional clinging to a particular outcome or interpretation so that the situation unravels rapidly, allowing for swift progress on your soul path. If you have felt as though the way forward in any matter of concern has been barred, her spiritual intervention to clear it is imminent. No obstacle can withstand her will. No suffering can continue in her presence. Oh! Her ways are exceptional and expedient, precise and effective. Liberation and enlightened empowerment are always the result of her activity. And God, just when I thought I'd taken enough notes on this card, y'all, listen to the word in the room today. Listen to the word in the room today. Listen to the word in the room today, baby. Liberation and enlightened empowerment are always the results of her activity. An expanded capacity to accomplish your sacred. Listen, I didn't even read this before I came up on here. I was just going off what I read last week. Listen. An expanded capacity to accomplish your sacred work is indicated, and it shall bring far-reaching benefits for all. Oh! Yo. Give up your notions of how things should be and seek sanctuary in the wild, wrathful wisdom unfolding. It may seem to be a chaotic, bumpy ride at times, but there is a loving intelligence guiding the process, and you are safe. You may not understand her wisdom and method, but you can trust in what is happening, especially the things breaking apart or rising anew. Any pain you may be experiencing now is so much less than what would have taken root if certain circumstances were allowed to continue. When a boundary needs to be set, it is not a time to play nice, nor to pacify people or circumstances attempting to exploit your good nature. Trauma Nagmo shall not stand for such disrespect, and trying to keep the peace by cultivating behaviors that are not self-honoring will always backfire. Come on in the room with this reading today. Authenticity with compassionate detachment is the only way forward now. Trust in her more than you trust in your doubts or fears. She has the power to bring about what needs to occur. Okay? The ritual, the invocation ritual for this card. Saying the following invocation while gazing from time to time at the image on the card. Allow yourself to surrender your heart. Offer her any feelings of aversion. Letting go facilitates your release into her healing protective fires. This is the invocation. Wrathful Black Dakini, Mother of all wisdom, grace, and power, Troma Nagmo, Krota Kali, I bow before you with respect. I surrender to your workings. I humbly offer you the attachments, karmic seeds, and obscurations of mind and body, so that the transformation and liberation may occur for the spiritual benefit of all beings. All defilements submit to your liberating presence. Jama Kodakali. Allow yourself to imagine, intend, visualize, or feel invisible shackles falling away from your soul, your body, and your mind. You may even physically sense or hear them as they hit the ground with a clunk before melting into her powerful cleansing fires that rise to consume them. Even if you cannot sense such a thing, trust that it is happening. Oh. Trust that it is happening. Notice how you feel, perhaps clearer, freer, more able to breathe, and expand more naturally and easily as constraints are released. You may feel different and not yet comfortable in that difference. That is okay too. Gaze again at the image on the card. Place your hand on your heart and then lightly touch that same hand to the card as the symbol of gratitude and acknowledgement of the Divine Mother's presence in your life. Finish with your hands in prayer and bowing your head. You have completed the invocation. Let me tell you something. Woo, this card, y'all. I told y'all. The card, man. Now let me tell you, I got to tell y'all why the card, even right now, even reading it again, is so deep, because I told y'all now is the moment. And now is the moment. Whew. Now is the moment. And y'all been walking with me. Y'all been watching me go through whatever the hell I'm going through in this walk with the mother since the winter solstice. And I told you, I didn't do any ceremony on winter solstice, not deliberate ceremony on winter solstice. We decided that we was going to keep it chill, have a little get together among friends, drink a little drink, eat a little food, have a little snacks, do a little talking. And it was so much more profound a ceremony than anything I could have just planned and plotted and schemed. And after that ceremony, after that get together on the winter solstice, the next day, the mother told me, she is like, I need you to sit with me for a while. The mother as Saturn, the mother as great grandmother Crone, the mother as what the winter solstice represents. It represents the old lady. It represents the old lady, the perpetually culturally invisible. That's who she represents. That's who she represents. The perpetually culturally disappears, invisible, reduced, made insignificant. She said, I'm gonna need you to sit with me for some time. Because there's some shit I got to show you. And you're the only one listening right now. That's what she said. You're the only one listening right now. You're the only one that is willing, despite the crisis in your own life, to go deep enough to extract what I'm trying to put y'all all up on game with. And every day since December 21st, I'm not joking. Yeah, I wish y'all knew my life. I really do. I really do wish that my life was like a goddamn, what you call it? Like a, what you call that shit? A reality TV show. I wish my life could be a reality TV show. My cameras set up in my shit all day, in my car all day. So you can see that what I'm telling you is not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. When I say, I'm almost ashamed to admit what I'm about to admit. That, you know, my situation with my housing situation is more urgent than it has been. And since November, I've been looking for help, right? I think I got some help, but it's still pressing. It's like direly urgent, okay? Even with my living situation being as urgent as it has been since November, paying them, but so far behind that there's no catch up. There's no catch up, right? Just looking for a break. Like, somebody help me. Y'all out here saying y'all gonna help somebody. Somebody help me so I can get back into the swing of things, right? And despite the fact that this shit is urgent and this shit is pressing, I'm going to say something. I'm going to admit something. Sometimes I wonder, like, these religions of the world, right? Especially the big ones, you know what I'm saying? The 5 bigs, right? Judaism, Islam, Christianity / Catholicism, Hinduism, and Buddhism. Those are the biggest religions on earth, right? And each one of them have something in common. They have many things in common, but one thing in particular. Each one of these religions has in common some great one, some singular, someone who the story is always the same, that he heard a call that for some reason only he could hear. And that instead of questioning the call, like Abraham's story is a perfect story. Abraham was rich, you feel me? I mean, if you believe that he actually existed, you know. But according to the story, Abraham was rich. Abraham was well off. Abraham was worshiping the goddess. Rich, worshiping the goddess. That's what your book say. That he was living all right. He was doing all right. And out of nowhere, at least according to the story, he receives a call. He receives a message that is so profound and so unlike anything he had ever experienced that he had no choice but to take heed and to honor the call, right? And because his wife loved him so much, she probably put up a fight in the beginning. Sarah, she was like, look, I don't hear shit. I don't know what you talking about, but you my man, and wherever you go, I go. And the story goes that Abraham, he ain't the only one that was rich, by the way. Siddhartha, who became the Buddha, was rich, opulently wealthy. But anyway, the story goes that he gave up all his wealth and worldly belongings and took to the streets, Chad, took to the desert. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. All I can do is trust this voice that for some reason I alone can hear. Noah had the same situation. His homies was like, "Yo, bitch, you know we live in the desert. Why you building this big ass boat, dude? That shit. You need some help. We might be able to refer you to somebody because this shit right here got us concerned. Because you building a giant ass boat in the middle of the desert. There ain't no water in any direction that can accommodate that boat for a long, long way. You sure you all right? You sure you don't need to see somebody?" And he was like, "I'm good, yo. Just let me do what I'm doing. Let me do what I'm doing. Let me do what I'm doing." These stories, there's so many. There's so many stories of men who were prophets, men who they alone could hear the word of God. They alone, whether it was by birthright, whether it was by blood lineage, whatever the reason, they alone not only could hear the word of God, but could apparently dictate the word of God, whatever that God was for them. And today we will read these stories with full conviction, absolute unwavering belief. We would dare not question it, even in the quiet of our own mind. Ask me how I know, because I was raised a Christian. We dare not question the validity and realness of these stories we have read about these men all over the fabric of time, who they alone could hear and dictate the word of God. And to this day, though they may have been dead 1, 2, 3, 1,000 years dead, 2,000 years dead, long, long gone, to this day, we dare not question. Not only do we dare not question that in this soul individual's responding to what could have just been his personal peculiar calling. It could have been that each one of these men did have a calling, and that they responded to the calling, and that calling was for them alone. But that's not what we did. What we did collectively is assumed. What we did collectively is assumed that one making a declaration about the receiving of a call, the moment that we become aware of why we exist, why we came, why we willed ourselves to be here. And instead of assuming that, we assumed that in our secondariness, that it was impossible for us to hear the call like they, the individual males, heard the call. And so instead of individually seeking the face and the voice of God for ourselves, we said, well, we obviously ain't as up on game as they is. So what we gonna do is we gonna gather around them. We going to give devotion to them. We are going to participate in the erection of whole new social systems, whole new cultural traditions, whole new ideologies that will live forever in their name. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to give the power of our head to someone that we can believe in, because we can't believe in ourselves. That's the basis of these religions. That's the origin of these religions, is the need first for you to believe in your inherent secondariness, your inherent valueness, your inherent born filthiness. That's the first thing that it requires. You understand? That's the first thing that it requires. But the other thing that I was thinking about when reading this card to you about the great mother and her most fearsome personification as Trauma Nagmo, the fierce, ferocious defender of her babies. Is that with each and every one of these gurus, shamans, holy men, prophet, the selected, the chosen, the minuscule few and shit. The other thing that has to happen in order to maintain a social order created around a singular one, a singular divine one, the order that must be maintained requires so much violence, every single one of these traditions, that under the auspice of peace, so much violence is required to maintain the order professing peace. The order professing peace must have a military, must have secret agents and a secret service, must have must have doctrines of eternal damnation and punitive retribution. And I'm saying this because for the last 3 days, and I'm not exaggerating, yeah, I'm reading all your comments, but I'm in a flow. This is ceremony right now. All right. So I'm not responding to it. I see all of y'all. Okay. But anyway, back to this admission. For the last 3 days, and then I'm gonna have to, I still have a few minutes before I have to go to this meeting. For the last 3 days, knowing that I'm in crisis, knowing, internalizing it every minute of every day. But when I tell you, and I've been telling you for 5 years now, that just as convinced, and just the mythological Abraham, just as convinced as the story says he was, just as convinced as the story says he was, I am. Just as convinced as Noah was that to his homies he seemed crazy for building a boat in the desert, that's how convinced I am. Just as convinced as Muhammad, just as convinced as Jesus that he was God incarnate, that's how convinced I am. That's how convinced I am. I am just as convinced as your Jesus when he heard a quiet voice saying, "You are God, my son, in the flesh." That's how convinced I am. Unfortunately, what I, in my conviction, do not have yet, it's coming, do not have yet, is the gathering. As the gathering of those that are equally convinced, because I don't need disciples. So don't. That's how we differ. Me and Jesus. That's how we differ. Me and Muhammad. That's how we differ. Me and Siddhartha. That's the difference between me and the Pope. That's the difference between me and Brahma or any other. Who else was it? Mithra. Who else? Constantine. when he called a gathering of 318 men to be locked behind closed doors for 318 days to chart a course, not only for Earth, for the entire visible cosmos, on how they were going to conspire behind these doors for 3 months with 318 men from all over the known world to conspire against the entire cosmos to ensure what has been your lot in life since 325 AD? Suffering, despair, brigandage, unebbed, life force stolen, not a single pause in the shit. I am just as convinced at my calling as Constantine was in his, as Julius Caesar was in his, and Emperor Nero in his, and Akhenaten in his. I am just as convinced. I am just as certain, not convinced, certain. I am just as certain. But unlike any of them, unlike all of them, who needed blind, excuse me, blind, deaf, dumb, mute, absolute adherence, absolute unquestioning adherence and disciples. What does discipline mean? The strict, painful correction necessary to straighten a human being. I don't need no fucking disciples. I don't need anybody who is about discipline and shit. I don't. Unlike all of these men that I named, Hitler, what's the 12 tribes of Judah, David, Isaac, Jacob, Judah, Ishmael, all the motherfuckers. Solomon. Julius Caesar, Winston Churchill, King Leopold, Nicholas V, your current Pope, criminal that he is, Leo, the whatever the fuck his number is. What is it? Leo, is he Leo the 16th? Leo the 14th? Somebody tell me what the new Leo number is. Somebody tell me what the new Leo number is. Augustine. All the Pope Innocences, all the Pope Leos, all the Pope Augustines, all the Pope, what's another popular Pope name? Francises, all the Pope Benedicts, all the Popes, every last one of the, what is it? He's the 256th Pope, all 256 of them diabolically monstrous motherfuckers. Everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I am just as certain, just as convinced, just as devoted, just as unyielding and unwavering in my conviction. I'm going to do what the fuck I came here to do. Come hell or high water. I would rather not be homeless, but if it comes to that, I don't think my mother has that in store for me. I'll be honest. I do not think that our mother has that in store for me. That bullshit imposed in our skull by these men. Yeah, the 14th. Thank you very much. I don't think she has that in store for us, because that bullshit with Siddhartha, you know what I'm saying? Being born into nobility, being so opulently wealthy, teaching you how to suffer for your beliefs, right? Teaching you how to be, because he is the perfect ascetic with his ribs all showing and shit, because he refused to eat because he wants to punish the flesh. Why he want to punish the flesh? Every ascetic in every tradition, they hate the mother so much that they, to prove their allegiance to fiction, to prove their allegiance to fiction, they will punish the gift their mother gave them, which is their absolute being. Not because their being couldn't exist without their mama's flesh, boo. They, who they think they is in this moment, could not exist without their mother. Who is their mama? God. Who is their mama? God. Every last one of them talking about they are God. They are, quote, Jesus make the proclamation that I'm God in the flesh. Like he wearing a meat suit. Yeah. Your flesh is God because God gave birth to you. She crafted, molded, weaved, and webbed, constructed in the primordial genius that is her uterus, literally weaved and webbed a net of cells together that knew intuitively that sacred knowing which cells were going to be differentiated to be liver cells, which cells were going to differentiate to be lung cells. The divine knowing that only exists in your mother's fucking body. The sperm couldn't do shit that it could do. And it can't do but one thing any motherfucking way. Yo, sperm. It can't do but one thing, dude. It can't do but one thing. It can swim. It can swim. That's it. That sperm, it too can heed the call. Because all it's doing as soon as it leaves your daddy body is going towards the light. It's going towards the light. Going towards. Have you ever seen images of the ovum, of the egg, and these millions of little sperms trying to get to her, and they all over, millions of them fighting for a chance to exist? And what do they say? What does modern science tell us today? That it is not them breaking open the egg. No, it is her releasing to allow a single one in. It's you that I choose. It's you that I choose. So I'm certain. But unlike all those men who I named, who got mamas, and they can look straight past their mother, who they can see, who they, especially back then, when they had no bullshit ass formula or cow milk they was trying to substitute for your mother's divinely wise milk. Especially them that swung off her titties for 4 years, which was the average period of time that women were nursing their children in the ancients. They knew she was God. And will grow up. And every day, all day, 24 hours a day, surrounded by the evidence that God is real, and look straight past her for something invisible, intangible, unimaginable, unfathomable, to look for God. Every day. Every day for 6,000 years, this has been the case. This is the spell. And so, in order to affirm they got status, in order to always have their ego boosted up that I am God, what they need? They need a legion. What do they need? They need warriors. What do they need? They need to be able to see, because they need that because they feel small. They feel small because they have forgotten that what affirms their God status on earth is the fact that they are on earth. That's what affirms their God status. That's all. And because they have been given this dogma, I don't know where it came from, don't know what the seed of it is. We can work it out on another day. But regardless, the spell was efficient because they go insane. Every leader, if you want, I'm going to be talking to y'all about this, because the admission that I have to make before I go too far is that for the last 3 days, despite knowing like what's happening in my life, not that I'm not dealing with it, but I'm not spending anywhere near as much time on it as I probably, like a logical person would say that I should. For the last 3 days, I've read so much. I've discovered so much. And all of it is like, it's not even like a discovery. it's like a recovery. It's like, no matter how deep it gets, it's like, oh, yes. Yeah. That's the admission. I know it doesn't seem deep, but you'll see over the next few days why it's deep. But these men, that's why they need it. That's why Trump right now needs to be able to know that all he has to do is speak. That's it. All he has to do is speak. And whatever comes out of his mouth will garner destruction, unquestioned. 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 Will start wars, unquestioned and unresisted. This is the word. Because my certainty, my conviction, that is right now, today, at a fault. My conviction is at a fault. At a fault. But I am convinced also that my mother does not intend for me to be homeless, living on the street, or trying to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna move. I don't see it. I don't feel it. That's why I'm not freaking out. Anybody else would probably be freaking out right now, but I'm not freaking out because I'm certain. I'm convinced. I am convinced. I am convinced. And I'm the kind of convinced that the shit that I've been teaching y'all for 5 years, the things that I've been saying to you for 5 years, the way that your oracle has been reading this bitch a year before, 2 years before, 5 years before shit go down. And it's not until y'all go back into my videos from long, long ago that y'all like, holy shit, that shit just happened today, what you said 5 years ago. It is not until, that's the story. This is the, listen, God damn, listen. Oh my God. This walk is extraordinary. I am Cassandra. And Cassandra's, at least the patriarchal's telling of her story. Cassandra's story was a tragedy. My story is not a tragedy because it's mine to write. Cassandra's story was a tragedy. Why? It wasn't any fault of her own that her story was a tragedy. Cassandra was a seer. Cassandra was the victim of assault. You understand what I'm saying? Cassandra had a gift, and even the gods were envious of the gift. And because the nigga couldn't boo her, because how dare this mortal tell me no? How dare this mortal tell me no? I'm God, so I'm going to curse her gift, that she only going to see terrible shit, and nobody is going to believe the terrible shit that she see. So everybody going to think she crazy. And in every movie that you have ever seen, if you can recall, if there was a character named Cassandra, she was always crazy. That is why there is a psychologically diagnosable condition called the Cassandra complex. Did you know that? But I'm telling you, history is not linear. History is an infinity symbol, a literal infinity symbol. And that infinity symbol has us in a loop that if we do not acknowledge that I am here to rewrite Cassandra's story, not only Cassandra's story, there's a lot of stories I'm here to rewrite. I'm here to rewrite our mother's story. I'm here to rewrite the goddess's story. I'm here to reclaim the face of every hidden goddess. I'm here to make her presence known. That's what I came here for. That's what I came here for. I have come to make the villain the hero. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. But this walk is going to require science. This walk is going to require stilled conviction in the voice of your mother. This walk is going to require right now to motherfucking day, especially with a lunatic at the helm, it is going to require acts of courage and radical action and loud ass conviction. That's how I got up on Trauma Nagmo today. Because when I was reading this card for the sister, I'll hold it up for a while I'm talking to you about it. When I was reading the card for the sister who I pulled the card for, I said, this card is everything. This card is everything. There's another card we read recently. I have to recall it. Because you see where her third eye is? You see what's in her third eye? You see that? You see that? Her third eye? There was another card I pulled for y'all. I don't remember how long ago it was, but it blew my mind too, because it talked about, in this personification of Kali, her Muladhara, which is her root chakra, your red root chakra, right? Her Muladhara was located where her third eye chakra should be. Why? It is the ebb and flow, the ascension and descension, the necessary of the two in this dance of ascension and descension that is required for us to have the breakthroughs that we need. We always talk about ascend. That's that masculine, disconnected hatred of the earth ideology embedded in all of these traditions. And so here too, Trauma Nagma, as the greatest defender of her babies. And there too, right up there where her third eye is her illuminated Muladhara, her root chakra, positioned right between her brows. That shit is so powerful to me. That shit is powerful to me. Because the Muladhara chakra is what it teaches you. What? Oh, chat. Let me tell you what the Muladhara teaches you. Y'all ain't even gotta guess. I gotta put it to you plain because I gotta get up out of here. The Muladhara. Let me find something darker to write with. The Muladhara, your crown chakra. The Muladhara is your root chakra. Okay. And if you were giving credit to the thief, Maslow, who said he came up with the whole hierarchy of needs that you psychologists love so much, which is bullshit and thievery at its best, but I digress. When Maslow presented the hierarchy of needs, this is what it looked like. Okay, this is what it started with. It's got the 7 colors of the chakras going up, but this is what it starts with. It starts with what he calls the basis, the foundation of the hierarchy of needs, the foundation of needs. You see how big this foundation of needs are? And the foundation of needs are an exact replica of what you are taught about your root chakra. But instead of this being harmonious and symmetrical, you feel me? Everybody get the same. This is written like your hierarchy of exploitation. Look exactly the same, right? But down here at the base, which is the foundation of the hierarchy of needs, what the Muladhara teaches us is that these needs must be met as primary for enlightenment to occur. These needs must be met first, primary. These are the things you shouldn't even have to think about. That's what this teaches us, even as Maslow's hierarchy of need. These are things that should come easily and you shouldn't even have to think about. Safety, security. That means a steady, definitive place to live and seek refuge, to call home. Food. Your base level and what they called your base level emotions, desire, sex, and all of that. That's where that's at. Your sex is considered a necessity within the hierarchy of needs. Human, what we call our animal connection, the hugs, not just sex, but sex is in there. But like when you see primates and they be hugging and playing all day, they be rolling around. The mamas play with the babies play with the big monkeys, they cousins, and everybody playing all day and picking bugs off of each other all day. Right? This is a necessity. These necessities filled allow, because they are peacefully filled, effortlessly filled. There's a flow that is allowed to happen when these things effortlessly are filled, that allows for an ascension in this what y'all call Kundalini energy, this serpentine ascension into the deeper unseen realms of cosmic connection. But if you are constantly obsessing in this, because these things don't come easily, so you are constantly obsessing, like y'all have seen me do over the last couple of months. How I'm gonna pay my bills, how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna get what I need, this and that and this and that, this and that and this and that. I ain't got no boo. I ain't had no boo in a long ass time. All of this shit that is denied. These are essential guarantees in a world without exploitation. These are essential guarantees. Play, sex, human emotion, basic, quote, animal emotion, security, food, housing, shelter, clothes. These are essential necessities guaranteed to every creature on the planet except humans. Isn't that so? Guaranteed to every creature on earth except humans in an age of exploitation. Okay? And because we are stuck in this loop that keeps us held hostage here, if we have a breakthrough moment where the mother is trying to crack through that shit anyway, our default stuck in this loop will be to experience guilt or shame, which is what I was telling you when I started by saying I got to admit something to y'all, but I'm almost embarrassed to say that I spent 18 fucking hours straight studying over the last 3 days. 18 hours straight. Like my eyeballs started to hurt. So I would go outside, walk around the block for a second to readjust my eyeballs and get right back into the studying. But it's only because, so my conviction and my certainty, they don't change. What happens, what's always in a constant conflict, is this deliberately imposed bullshit right here, intended to keep God from reemerging on earth. That's the only purpose that it serves. And they use you against you. They are perpetually using you against you. Who is the you that I'm talking about? I'm talking about God. That's the you that I'm talking about. They use you against you every day, all day, 24 hours a day, and we don't even make it hard to use us against us. When I tell you these 18 hours that I went to sleep at 4 o'clock this morning, I said, okay, that's it. That's enough. That's enough. I need my whole brain to be stuck on stupid for a few days to recover. But these last 18 hours, and these last 18 hours, right? And so when I'm always telling you to keep it simple, I don't mean dumb. I mean, see, just like I was telling you about Emperor Constantine and all this crazy shit he had to do, Nero and all the crazy shit he had to do, because he was convinced since he was a boy child that God was somewhere else and needed to be found. That God was somewhere else away from him and he needed to be found. And the only way to find God is to prove to God that you are worthy by great acts of insanity, because God is somewhere else. And so Constantine in his insanity would walk by God every day, all day, 24 hours a day, not see God, literally look straight through God every single day, because he is seeking God that don't exist. He is seeking God that is not real. He is seeking God that he is unfathomable because he does not exist. See, he is intangible because he does not exist. You see, he is invisible because he does not exist. You see, and so in the child turned man, perpetually seeking, quote, the face of God in a construction consolidated with the essence and ashe of us all, that is nothing more than a glitch in the actual matrix. Yes, your flesh. A glitch in our collective flesh that has become the cancer of the age. That's it. That's it. Everything that every man has sought after somewhere else, transcendent from, separate from, separable from, divisible from, everything he has ever sought as the face of God, the machinations of God, the evidence that I am God in body, God in the flesh, everything he has ever sought since Inky rose up against his mother. Every man ever born, every man ever born has deepened and sharpened this sickness. Every man that has ever accepted into his consciousness that God is to be sought after, God is to be lamented to, God is to prove, depending upon who you see yourself in proximity to God, whether your divine ability to suffer or your divine ability to punish will determine if God hears you or not, as sufferer or as punisher. That God only speaks to men. Have y'all tell it. God only speaks to divine males. You feel me? That God is a glutton for suffering. He loves suffering so much. He loves blood so much. He is the purveyor of terror. Every terrorist on earth learned from the examples set by God. He is moved damn near to orgasmic ecstasy by the screams of suffering children and women. He is disgusted. Listen to me. He is disgusted by what he perceives as weakness. He is offended by tears and mourning, weeping and wailing. Now, what feeds him is blood. What feeds him is blood. And so the weeping, suffering, and wailing that he is offended by, because we use his name, those who are here to divinely suffer, those who are here to divinely punish, right? To divinely give the suffering what they need. You feel me? So we both say the same God name. Jesus, help us, right? Jesus, help us. Help us. Jesus, help me go get this nigga. Jesus, help me go get this motherfucker. Help me go bomb these people. Jesus, Yahweh, Allah, help me go get them and kill them all. We pray into the same people. We pray into the same Godheads. The Godhead that loves blood, that's his personification. That's the Punisher's personification of the Godhead. You see? So when they pray to the Godhead, help us go kill these Palestinians, help us go kill these Iranians, help us go kill these Africans, help us go kill these Indians, help the Punisher, the diabolical, the one who is made gluttonous of suffering, screaming. He loves it when it's coming from the Punisher, the screaming, the torture, the torment, the weeping, the wailing. Like, yes, because he knows in the moment, that screaming, that weeping, that wailing, all of that shit is coming because the Punisher is doing his job. He is doing his divinely ordained job as the divine sadist that he is, as a representative of the divine sadist that is Yahweh, of the divine sadist that is Vishnu, of the divine sadist that is Allah, of the divine sadist that is Jesus. He's like, yeah, they doing a good ass job. I'm up in here eating. I'm living large. The stuff, the screaming and the crying and the weeping and the wailing that he is disgusted by is by the sufferers, because they say in his name too. They say in his name too. The same God these people over here praying to, the punishers, the sadists, is the same God that the suffering, the meek, the weeping and wailing is. So he loves the screaming, he loves the torture, he loves the torment, he loves the weeping. But as soon as you say his name, Jesus, please, he's like, this bitch. Why you got a rope around your neck? Jesus, please come help us. This motherfucker, you are disgusting. While the police is snuffing you with his knee in your neck. Jesus, please. These, ugh. This is the two-facedness of the diabolatry that has been imposed into our consciousness. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere. The divine sadist and the divinely ordained sufferer. And you have to be willing to suffer. Listen to why you have to be willing to suffer. You have to be willing to suffer because in this campaign, if you do not believe that it is your divine ordained position to suffer, your ass will fight back. Your ass will destroy. Your ass will become what I did with her. Dang. Am I tripping? Where I put her? I guess I put her away. Your ass will become the divine personification of trauma nagmo. Oh, I did put her away. Because if you do not accept in your skull that you are divinely here to suffer and shit, and that's the only way that you can prove your worth and your value to the great God in the sky is to be willing to accept suffering and shit. If you aren't willing to accept suffering, this is who you would become. This is who you will become. This is who you will become. And I love this card because when I was reading it for the sister, I love this card. This card is your lesson for the day because this card tells you. Let me tell you, let me give you a scenario. The same scenario I gave a sister. So say you littler, you smaller than your classmates. On average, you smaller than all your classmates. So you become the object of bullying because people love to bully somebody they know can't fight back or won't fight back. Isn't that something? Bullies don't ever want to bully anybody that might be able to get some licks off. Don't ever want to bully somebody that might be able to get some equally confounding licks off. They always want to bully those who they perceive that they can bully. Right? Funny how that works. And so say you little and you come home and you say, Mama, somebody bullying me at school. You feel me? You say, what's that child name? And you say, and so Mama said, don't worry about it. You stay here with your brothers and sisters. I'm gonna go take care of this. Your mama go down to the school. Okay. And your mama say, look, she tried to go about it the right way. She tried to go about it the culturally prescribed, decent way to, quote, let the system work. That's what she do. So she go there calm, cool, and collected to meet with the administration to see how y'all gonna handle my baby coming home crying because they being bullied. And they say, man, we gonna look into it. And you give them a couple of days. Ain't nobody called your phone. Ain't nobody reassured you that your baby gonna be okay. Your baby come home again crying. Mama, they took all my stuff. They hit me. You say, what's that child name again? You beat the street. Who they mama is. Who they mama is. Right? Somebody tell you, girl, that child you talking about, they mama is such and such. Girl, I know somebody got a phone number. You need her phone number? I need her phone number because I need to talk to her directly about her child that keep fucking with my baby. And so you still trying to keep it cool. You still trying to keep it respectful because you know how kids be. You feel me? So you call the mama saying, can we resolve this face to face because I ain't getting no justice through the bureaucratic administrative process that we just supposed to trust gonna work. So you call, you say, hey, how you doing? You don't know me. My name is this and that and such and such. And I just wanted to call you directly because my baby tell me 3 times, my baby then came home and told me that your child is terrorizing my child at school. Now, I know how kids can be. And so I just wanted to talk to you to see if you could talk to your child this and that and such. But you know how some of us be when we are not walking with the mother. You understand? When we always trying to pop off at somebody who ain't got no power, who we perceive ain't got no power. You feel me? We always trying to pop off on somebody we perceive ain't got no power. And so you done called the mama trying to work it out on a peaceful accord. She's like, bitch, you got nerve calling my motherfucking phone, accusing my baby of no bullshit. I come and see you, bitch. Tell me where you live. I come and see you, bitch. So now you're like, hold on, bitch. Let me text you my address real quick, like. Let me text you my address real quick, like. Go for what you know. Let me text you my address. You go in. You peaceful. You doing what you got to do. All of a sudden you hear bam, 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 bam. She in the yard. After she done banked on your door, she stepped back off the porch into the grass, ready to throw down. All your kids like, mama. What do you tell your kids? What do you tell your babies? You tell your babies, y'all go back inside and watch TV. Let me handle what's going on out here. Don't be looking out the window. Go inside and watch TV. Isn't that what you tell your babies? Because there is only a certain version of you reserve for your babies. This version of you do not want your babies to see. That ain't for them. That version of you is not for them. This version of them is solely to protect, secure them. This is for everybody that would try you. This is for everybody that would try mama. This is for everybody that would try your babies. This is for everybody who had, see how she got these nigga skulls wrapped around her neck. This is for everybody that would have the inclination that they could get off on your babies, that they could get over on you where your babies is concerned. This picture is not for her babies. This version, this personification shapeshifter that she is not for them to see. It's not for them. This card moved me so much because it explained to me so much of what I'm going to teach you this week. It explained so clearly to me Why everybody on this planet hates their mother. Everyone on earth hates Black women, Black skinned women, and Black African descended nappy coiled hair. It is our mark. It is our 666, literally looking like the six, rolling over on itself all the time. Hair. You feel me? This, right? This version is what has been taught, perverted by the sun god, perverted by the sun god, her, perverted by the sun god to make sure that you never, what does this card say here? To seek solace in her heart. Huh? To trust that the Dakini, the sky dancer, Trauma Nagmo, or Krota Kali, who is the fiercest of protectors, fierce in her protective divine feminine being. She is your refuge. That's why she tell you go in the house. This ain't for you. I got you. I guarantee tomorrow your ass won't be bullied. That's what she told her baby. She said, let me go out here. I don't want to have to beat no sister down. But if that's how you want to, if that's how you want to step onto the terrain to resolve what could have been a peacefully resolvable situation, I can bring the heat, bitch. I can bring it. I don't want to have to do that with you, but let's go. She said, for my babies, take your ass in the house. Don't be peeking out the windows, because the mama that you about to see on the front yard beat the brakes off this bitch is not for you to see. That version of me is not for you. So it's not for you to see. And so what this monstrous, malignant motherfucker had to do from day one is to transform. Our greatest protection, to transform our mother into the monster that globally we rebel against. And no matter how desperate, no matter how dire, no matter how evil and wicked and monstrous and repugnant and fucked up in madness this God presents himself to be, we will never seek her face. He guaranteed it. That we will never seek her face. That no matter what he does, Epstein's. No matter what he does, Trump's. No matter what he does, Bush's. No matter what he does, Nero's. No matter what he does, men. No matter what diabolatry he does, nothing can be worse than the threat of burning in hell forever. That nothing he does will ever have us hedge our bets with some black bitch. Have us hedge our bets with the primordial black divine she that engulfs everything. Everything. He did such a good job. It's so ever present. It's been blowing my mind, man. These last 3 days have been blowing my mind. This card started it. Because she says, when you see me like this is your fiercest defender. Baby, I got your back. This is your fiercest defender. This is your fiercest defender. This is the one. Baby, I'll trash it all. I'll wreck it all to secure y'all. Y'all gonna be safe because y'all inside watching TV like I told y'all. I might destroy this whole yard. I might rake this bitch across all up and down the street. But you will never be the wiser. Safe and peaceful. Safe and peaceful in the abode that I built for you. Well, I go out here and make sure all the evils of the world recognize this ain't the one. Mine's, this ain't the one. This ain't the house you want to try. This ain't the house you want to try. This is not for you. And so what these monstrous motherfuckers have done, and it's so deep because we give so much voice to the image they have fed us of our mother. You hear me? What does it say here of trauma Nagma? What does it say about her in this card? What does it say? It says, allow any fear that you may have that arises in you because you see her face and you've been traumatized so much about these images that have been malignicized, bastardized, that you look and you're like, oh, I'm scared. I hear it every day. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm scared. It says, allow any fear or aversion that arises as you contemplate her to rise and then fall away. Why? Because her appearance is meant to be repelling for a spiritual purpose, not to keep you away from her. This is how contemplation upon this sacred being becomes an act of spiritual cleansing and psychological release. I keep telling y'all, what did Mary Daly say in the book Pure Lust? What did she say? The role of the fates. Who are the fates? Everybody born in this incarnation with a uterus. Everybody born with a uterus is the fates. Is the fates together. Why? Because we the shape-shifting bitches. What does it mean when we shape-shifting? We are baby, we are maiden, we are mother, we are crone. Every single change in our life defined by actual material, biological, chemical moments of definition. That's what it means. We the fates. And it says, and Mary Daly says in Pure Lust, she said the only role of the fates today is to redefine all time and to cast a global spell. What did she say? Cast a global spell. No, she didn't. She didn't say spell. She said cast a global exorcism on the world. That's what she said. Cast a global exorcism on the world. That's what she says. How do we do that? With our throats, with our mouths, governing our language. Listen to what she say right here. She said, this is an act of spiritual cleansing and psychological release. We got to cleanse this shit. You understand? We have to allow our heaven to become dark again, to become mysterious again, not blinded by the white light of an everlasting unsetting sun, whitening our sky, whitening our heaven. She say, as this aversion dissipates, the initial shock and fear that you have, oh, I'm scared, because she looks scary, right? As you allow this aversion to dissipate, our sanctuary with her is activated from a pure trusting heart, deflecting unwanted negative energies and psychic contaminants. Trauma Nagmo is our black, wrathful mother of tantric wisdom. That is all. That's it. And I'm going to say that shit until this shit is solved. That is the statement of the age. That is the statement of the time. That is the statement of the day. Trauma Nagmo is our black, wrathful mother of tantric wisdom. That's why y'all white people be getting mad. Y'all don't know how to articulate it, but every time some shit pop off and black people say, y'all don't ever show up for us, you feel me? So fuck it. We staying home. We ain't doing this demonstration. We feel bad about what's happening in the world. We feel bad what's happening to them people over there, or them people over there, or them people right here, or them people over there. But this relationship ain't reciprocal. So you know what? Y'all got it. And every time black people say we sitting this one out, because this ain't the first time this has happened. Every time black people collectively in one accord and one voice say we sitting this shit out because y'all shit is not reciprocal in any way whatsoever. Every time we say we sitting this shit out, how people on CNN talking about there was a real good showing for the demonstration. The whole time though, I was just wondering where the black people at. They hate you, but demand your presence. They hate you, but demand your presence. Are concerned when you are quiet and not visible. when there is an absence, an uncomfortable absence in the space of your black ass. Isn't this something of a paradox? Why they uncomfortable? Why they mad when we don't show up, but don't give a damn about us? It is because their inner spirit, they cells still remember who the mother is. Their spirit, their cells are like, bitch, this the only salvation. This the only salvation. This the only salvation. Where the black people at? This the only way forward. Where the black people at? Where the dark people at? Where the black skinned at? Reduced to dregs of society. Tucked off in corners here and there. Called untouchables. Your cells remember. Your skull is blinded by the light. Your heart remembers. Your skull is blinded by the light. And so, this is the statement. This is a white girl who wrote this book, by the way. She say, Trauma Nagmo is our black wrathful. It ain't Big Mama time on the spot. It's not. It's not time for the, because that's what you white people love. You love for some, like President Trump is deliberately playing in your face. He too knows that the only salvation for us is black women. That's why this motherfucker has incessantly, not just now, even in his first administration, incessantly, completely surrounded himself by traitorous black women. Knowing what the message to the rest of us who may not be conscious, may not know what's going on, may not understand what we're seeing, knowing what the message would be for the rest of us. And for the last 6 months, this motherfucker has been surrounding himself by black women. I just saw an image during Black History Month of this man surrounded by black men and women. He's sitting at his desk at the Oval Office, and all these Negroes and the Getskis got their hands on this motherfucker, praying over him. All these, child, it had to be 30 black people trying to get their hands on Trump to pray. This malignancy, this scourge on the earth, this literal walking, talking tumor, exemplary of the trauma of the age. That's what he is. He is not the cause. He is the apex personification. He is the apex personification of a cancer unchecked. That's what he is. And so because he knows, in every secret society that has ever existed knows what the solution is, this is the reason that we have been the target. Incessantly, we have been the target. Who is the we? Women in general, yeah. Who is the we? The darkest among us. Women. The darkest among us, because fuck what you heard. Black men in too many numbers are playing an enthusiastic, ecstatic, participatory role in the subduing of the mother. Black women. And what I mean when I say black women, I mean black-skinned women the globe over. So if them black-skinned women from Fiji, I'm talking about them. If the blackest women in goddamn the Philippines, I'm talking about them. The so-called untouchables in India, I'm talking about them. The ones y'all got living lower than animals in India. I'm talking about them. I'm talking about them dark-skinned people who happen to be the poorest in Hawaii. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about nappy-headed, black-ass Southern women right here in the United States that you would remain silent to this motherfucking day that lost 650,000 jobs in this country last year, and you collectively all said, we don't give a fuck. No parades in the streets, no shutdowns, no none of that. To this day, we don't give a fuck that black women were out the gate targeted by this administration. They first. And your complicity in the assault on Black women is what gave rise to every crime afterwards. Every crime afterwards. Every crime afterwards. And so you may think you progressive because you got a Black homegirl or a Black baby daddy or some shit, or you work in an organization where there are 3 Black people that work in your organization or whatever. That isn't, that ain't it. So we can't be nobody big mama. This ain't the time for that. We can't surround you and coddle your feelings. That ain't this period. This is the face of the mother that is telling her babies, we need you to show up. This the fight where y'all gonna see the face now. Because old girl done brought all her kids. She got some teenage boys. She said, y'all come down here with me so we can beat up this whole family. Now all your babies got to come out too. It ain't just gonna be you on the front yard trying to protect y'all. That's the big mama we done been. You feel me? Trying to protect y'all. You feel me? Y'all stay inside. I got this face for them. You feel me? Whatever. This stage of the game, everybody out the motherfucking house. Get your big girl draws on. Get your big boy draws on. Because we about to have to go toe to toe with this whole malignancy that done rolled up on our spot, trying to destabilize our peace, trying to challenge our sovereignty. That's the world. And so y'all the babies, now it's time for y'all to show the fuck up. Because there ain't been no reciprocity for a long time. I'm going to talk to y'all later, but I got to go about the ways that they have corralled you all to hate your mother. And it's so insidious that when I tell you this, when I show you this, and you see how simple and obvious and so well hidden it is, you're probably going to want to rage out of control. I'll be honest. You're probably going to just want to go ahead and walk out your house and get your rage on. I'm not lying. Like, I've been up in here fucked up for 3 days. For 3 days, I've been studying, reading, writing. Y'all wouldn't even, I got to get a hidden camera up in here, a little camera over my freaking something, so y'all can just see my life, so you can see what's happening up in here. For those of you that are tuning in via IG, if you are local, for those of you who are tuning in on YouTube and you are local, keep your ear to my lives for the rest of the day, because I'm plotting something for this week that we all have to show up to. Rearrange your life, do what you got to do. But this week is it. This week is it. The equinox is next week. This week is Friday the 13th. This is the height of Women's History Month. And we have to be saying something different than what's being said. We have to be saying something different than what's being said. And ain't nobody saying the right thing. I ain't heard nobody yet. Don't mean they ain't out there. I just ain't heard nobody yet. I ain't heard nobody yet. Not about nothing that's happening in the world, whether it's Trump, whether it's wars, whether it's Iran, whether it's Sudan, whether it's Epstein, nobody, whether it's these bullshit ass elections here in Los Angeles, nobody is saying the right thing. And that's how they want it. That's how this shit is set up. I'm going to give it to you blood raw today, but I got to go because I'm hungry and I'm not going to miss my old people lunch. So I'm going to be back in a few minutes. Actually, I'm going to be back in a couple of hours because I got to go meet with a lawyer today. But I'm going to be back today to tell you what I'm plotting and scheming, how you can get up on board, and if you are not in Los Angeles, how you can support what this jack move that we about to pull on Friday the 13th, day after tomorrow. Okay? So this is Cassandra. Consider making a contribution to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. The email is EvoEmeTemp @gmail.com. That's EvoEmeTemp @gmail.com. You can use that email to send a Zelle donation or a PayPal donation. The Cash App is $, Daughter of the Fates, FATES, $, Daughter of the Fates. Venmo is my name, Cassandra, CASSANDRA -Floyd, FLOYD. You can use that email address, EvoEmeTemp @gmail.com, to book a divination session. You can get either a 30-minute or a 1-hour divination session with me. Email me and I will explain how to book a session. You can also, I'm going to be teaching a workshop. I'll give y'all details about that later. Oh, and go to DaughterOfTheFates, FATES.etsy.com. The ritual that I'm working on, within the next 48 hours, it'll be live on the Etsy store. So you're definitely going to want to get that. And I'm going to read it to you before before I post it up, so you can know exactly what it is you walking up into, because this is going to be yet another global conspiracy. Last time we did that global conspiracy over the summer, we had hundreds of people checking in, emailing me to say, I'm participating. So we need to up the ante. Feel me? So I'll have that for you in 48 hours or so. And that's all I have for you right now. I will be back later today. All right. Appreciate you.